Chris and Rob, it's very, very rare that I disagree with both of you, that you're squaring off 2-1, but we're having this in the category of Best Supporting Comedy Actor. You're both saying Eric Stonestreet's going to win for Modern Family, and I say this is Chris Colfer all over the place to win. First, I'll let you defend yourself before I call you insane. Who wants to defend this? Go ahead. Eric Stonestreet, why?
Eric Stonestreet is a clown in a comedy category. That's why he's going to win.
He plays a clown in the episode he submitted to the judging panels. Okay, go ahead.
He's very, very funny. He's so funny. There's a scene at the gas station where he defends Jesse Tyler Ferguson's character. What is it, Mitchell? I think that wins it for him right there. I mean, the running around the party, being scared of the scorpion. I mean, all of that's very funny. He also has a couple of good moments. You know, when these things are edited down, it's just the scenes that the person is in, but he does share scenes with some of his other co-stars. So he's got a couple of other good moments that he gets out of those episodes as well. And we've seen that actually help people before to win. I was a little surprised, too, that I picked Eric going in all summer long. I thought it was going to be Ty Burrell winning this because I think he's had the stronger season overall on Modern Family. But I just wasn't overwhelmed with his episode choice. It was very
he submitted
an ordinary episode. Right? Yeah, it was just an ordinary episode. There wasn't much going on there, and if a voter doesn't watch the show overall, I don't think they would have realized what a great job he did all season.
He's annoying in that episode.
Right.
But all right, Rob, I get the point why you want to predict Eric Stonestreet. There is a pattern in this category of the big bombastic performance winning. Jeremy Piven is an example. Sean Hayes. I get that. The big outsized comedic performance. They don't often go for tears here and big drama. And that's your logic for picking Eric Stonestreet, right? Because it is the big clown performance.
Correct. That's right. Exactly. Anyone who watches that and who doesn't, scream out laughing when he pulls out that humongous stop clock and says we're running late for the party, then you just don't have a soul. So I just think like that he is brilliant, and he has been brilliant all season. I have been saying since Modern Family started, watch out for Eric Stonestreet. He's going to win an Emmy, and he picked the best episode for him, and he's going to win. And I agree that Ty Burrell, who is also one of my absolute favourites, could have picked better than the iPad episode that a lot of people didn't really like. And we're forgetting the other three that we haven't talked about yet because I don't think they're in the race at this point. But and I know that I'll leave Chris Colfer up to you, Tom. But personally, there's no last to Chris Colfer. For Chris Colfer, it's more about his acting performance. He's a very good actor.
Right. And who's voting in this category, Rob? Who's voting in this category?
Yes, I agree.
Actors, right?
Yeah, that's
and you know what else is important here? Let's just call this the gay category because you throw in Neil Patrick Harris, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and the two people who made it in this category that we did not predict any of the three of us were the two gay character roles here with Chris Colfer and Jesse Tyler Ferguson. The gay vote is so powerful among the actors branch, of course, for obvious reasons, that I think we have to count it as a factor here as well. And out of all these performances here, one of the reasons I think Chris Colfer has an edge is that because he's defending his sexuality, his character's sexuality in this role. But also, come on, we know because we track this all the time. Size matters in Hollywood. The longest episode usually wins. Chris Colfer is in a 1-hour show. And now, if I haven't persuaded you yet that he's going to win based on all of that, he sings Rose's Turn from Gypsy. And there are 3 women on Broadway who have won Tony Awards for doing the same thing. So yeah. I'm sure, I haven't seen the Eric Stonestreet episode. I'm sure it's really wonderful, comedic. But you're talking about a bunch of actors, probably 60 or 70, sitting at home watching DVDs, checking off their ballots of who's going to win here. And you've got little Chris Colfer belting out, breaking your heart with this performance that's got all kinds of range. He does the macho thing, the butch thing. He's defending his sexuality in this. And then he does Rose's Turn. Now, come on. In a 1-hour episode.
Well, are we talking about the Tony Awards or the Emmy Awards here? I'm confused.
Chris.
I emailed Rob right after I watched Chris Colfer, and I said, "Am I crazy that I'm thinking Chris Colfer might win this category?" And Rob said, "You may be right." So, Tom, we're not totally dismissing it, but tell me somebody in the past 20, 25 years in this category, especially, that's won with basically no comedy. I mean, look at John Larroquette, David Hyde Pierce. You mentioned Jeremy Piven and Sean Hayes and Michael Richards and Brad Garrett and on and on and on. Even John Cryer last year, who's nominated again this year. I think I had him in third place last year. It was a funny, physical comedy kind of an episode. I just don't know where you can put Chris Colfer in the mix with that.
Brad Garrett won for the Lucky Suit episode, as I remember, which was a very, very sad, kind of heart-tugging episode. I think in general you're right, yes, but I think also in general that they, as we see in the lead categories more than the supporting, that they go for the big performance here. And while Eric Stonestreet literally gives a big performance, I think the gay wild card, the 1 hour episode, the Roses turn, But anyway, it's an interesting race to watch because there are some powerful elements here among us award geeks who care about these little elements that seem to be important. Does anyone else have a chance here?
In a short, no. Because even someone like Neil Patrick Harris, he was the guy last year, right? Everyone thought he was going to win because he just had so much buzz and heat, and he didn't. And this year he's got this episode, Guys versus Suits, which I was really excited about watching because I didn't watch How I Met Your Mother regularly last season. And I viewed it, and I thought it was so irritating and just so contrived, and the song and dance number was really bad. And so I just can't see him getting a win this year. He's not in the race. And Jesse Tyler Ferguson is really funny and good, and he does this excellent slapstick routine where he's destroying his whole house because there's a bird in the house. And I just don't think it's enough. John Cryer does a few things because he
won last year. Nobody predicted that. All right, we underestimated John in the past.
They did. I don't think it was the tape last year. I think last year was a little bit more about it's time to give John Cryer an Emmy. I really do, because he didn't really deserve it, I don't think, to be honest, just based on the tape, I should say. And Ty Burrell.
No, I thought his episode last year was good. I mean, it had two big things. First of all, right at the beginning, voters saw that he directed that episode, and every actor wants to direct. So, that did not hurt him at all. And then he had some really good dialogue scenes with his brother. And then the last, 7 or 8 minutes was all pratfalls and falling down and physical humor. I really said last year in my predictions that I didn't think he was going to win, but I thought it was a good episode. This year is not, for Cryer, is not nearly as good. It's a little tiny bit of physical humor, but mostly conversational stuff, and might even offend some of the Jewish voters. I mean, some of the stuff that he has to say. So I would be surprised. In fact, I didn't think he was even going to get nominated this year. I thought it was one of those classic Emmy situations where somebody finally gets an Emmy after several years of trying, and then they totally dismiss them for the rest of the show. But he is in there, and he has a little bit of a chance, but I don't think so.
Right. It's going to be Chris Colfer, of course. Have I persuaded you yet? No.